Good evening and happy Thursday as we welcome you into the Trojan Coliseum here in Portsmouth. The Unioto Shermans have made the trip down to P-Town one day ahead of everybody else to take on the Portsmouth Trojans. Along with Shane Combs, my name is Dewey Daly as we welcome you into this evening's broadcast. Shane, glad to have you along with us this season in the 2025 season.
Well, I always enjoy getting to do this with you. I know you and I have done a lot of volleyball, baseball over the years. We have done some football together, but man, I'm just really excited. This Thursday night format, it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. People are anxious for fall sports, right? You go the whole summer, high school sports kind of on the back burner, maybe some summer stuff going on, but you get back to school, you start to hear the cheerleaders practicing, you start to hear the band practicing, and people get a little anxious for football Friday night. So what better way to kick it off than do a little Thursday night with two good schools that you know are going to really get out and their fan base are going to support their teams.
And you talk about that excitement. A lot of people claim that the football Friday night season is the most exciting on the high school athletic calendar, and they certainly have their arguments. There's not a whole lot of other feelings that compare to football Friday night.
Well, I think it checks all the boxes. The obvious things that you just talked about, but I mean, really, you know, it's the newness, right? You're coming back to a new year. Obviously, the football players and their families are involved. The band's involved. The cheerleaders involved. The community's involved. You never really have a scheduling conflict. You know, you're not going to put other things on that Friday night during those football Friday nights. So, yeah, it really does. It checks a lot about it. And then financially, every athletic director will tell you that these are the gates throughout the year that support the entire athletic program. So, yeah, you're right. It's an event in every community that's really special. And just looking around here tonight, watching this place fill up, I think we're going to get a really, really neat atmosphere.
And you talk about that home gate. It really is as close to you can get to a playoff atmosphere before Week 11 as nobody else is playing. Now, there is one other game in the coverage area. That's Piketon at Northwest. Derek Webb is in McDermott for that one on hand, but you get a lot of teams a lot of fans from the surrounding areas, Portsmouth West, Notre Dame, that aren't playing tonight. Football's in the area. Why not come over?
You know, for the longest time, people would be like, well, you get scouted in person and all that stuff. With all the huddle film now and those types of things, that's kind of an old school type of thing. So, yeah, why not put your programs on center stage?
National anthem coming up here in Portsmouth. Shermans and Trojans when we return to the Coliseum.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to wish all the fall sports athletes a very safe and successful year. Good luck.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news, Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. One very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Rathkamp Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum here in Portsmouth. Shane Combs along with Dewey Daly as we welcome you back into this evening's coverage. Shane, something we were talking about during the break is you have two teams from a season ago that hosted home playoff games in Week 11 last season, but coming into this season, sort of on opposite ends of the spectrum where you look at Unioto. They're returning both their starting running back and quarterback, both all-district selections last season, whereas for Portsmouth, it's fresh faces at the signal caller position and at running back, graduating both J.T. Williams and Chase Heineland. That duo combined for over 3,300 yards and 41 touchdowns last season for the Trojans.
Yeah, well, that's certainly there's a lot of facts in those numbers you just put out there. I think what's interesting about it is anytime you return your quarterback, I feel like early in the year your playbook probably starts to open up or get a little bigger, maybe at a faster pace than in some other camps. As you're bringing in a new quarterback at that particular position. I will say, in watching Portsmouth throughout the preseason a couple times. Certainly do not lack athleticism at the skill position. I think you're going to see some kids in space that can do some damage. Playing at home helps tonight a little bit. I always feel like young role players in all sports play a little bit better in their home environment. And I think that's something to watch for here. But you're right, Unioto, a lot of kids that have been there and done a lot, and now they're wanting to do a little bit more. So it starts tonight. Yeah, we were talking on the way down here. These games early in the year in football are important because the points start counting right away. And a lot of times once you get into conference play, you play who you play. But in some of these non-conference matchups, boy, can you really grab some points in a hurry.
You talk about that non-conference schedule. Both teams with one loss, and other than that, a lot of wins in the non-conference last season. Portsmouth overall, they go 8-4. They did have a few more non-conference losses as Ironton was their first season out of the OVC last season, but they opened up with a couple of wins last year over Valley and West. Now, this Thursday night game, Portsmouth is no stranger to this first Thursday night. It used to be Lucasville Valley, the team they had typically been playing over the last handful of years. Now, Unioto and Portsmouth, the first meeting all time between the Shermans and Trojans.
I think it's a neat matchup. I really do. Like I said in our first segment, there are two fan bases that seem to get behind their sports and really support their kids. Neat atmosphere, especially if they keep it here in week one and use the Thursday night. I think back and forth, both schools will be more than happy with the gate results. And I think we're in for a lot of fun here this evening. I'm excited to call it with you.
And something we've harped on a lot in the pregame, Shane, it really does provide that playoff atmosphere that you're really not going to get until week 11 when nobody else is playing and you're playing either one day ahead of everybody else or a day in which some team seasons are already over.
Yeah, I agree. In the pregame coming down early tonight, just seeing a lot of the different things going on and a lot of the people, again, anxious on opening night. It had a little bit of that tailgate, little playoff atmosphere to it.
So the Shermans winning the toss, electing to defer to the second half. Under head coach Matt Hoops, his sixth season. Leading the Shermans a 9-2 record, 7-0 last season. Second consecutive gold ball out of the Saddle Valley Conference for Unioto. Falling in their week 11 round one playoff matchup to West Holmes. Interestingly enough, these two teams do have a common opponent from last season. The Shermans' only regular season loss that came to Amanda Clear Creek, the team that Portsmouth beat in week 11 last season here at the Coliseum. It was a game that Amanda jolted out to a 16-0 lead before the Trojans rattled off 35 consecutive points to pull off the 19-point win in week 11. Now both teams with playoff aspirations once again in 2025.
Liam Mathey for Unioto is quite a weapon. Over the years here, Dewey, with the ability to dominate in the kicking game can really separate yourself from a lot of opponents. It shows up in the kickoff. It shows up in drives ending in field goals and putting more points on the board. A little bit more of the automatic extra point, which a lot of times in high school you can't say. So that'll be something to keep the eye on tonight. Unioto really, really good in the kicking game with Mathey.
The two men back deep for the Trojans. Cameron Williams along with Leland Skurlock. Cam Williams, now a junior, was the quarterback for the Trojans as a freshman. Last couple of seasons has adjusted to be more of a slot receiver / H-back. One of the more shifty and speedy players on the field at all times. One day ahead of everybody else, the 2025 season is underway, and it's a squib kick right at the senior Landon Malone. Marked down right at the 32-yard line. That'll be where the Trojans kick off their 2025 season offensively.
Yeah, interesting strategy, kind of put it on the ground there a little bit, stay away from some of the athleticism we talked about there in the return game.
So 1st and 10 for the Trojans. First-year quarterback senior Marquez Locklear in the pistol alongside Fernando Poches. First play from scrimmage will be on the ground. This is Poches. Up to around the 34-yard line. Pickup of about 2 yards for the junior tailback.
Pretty good job left side the defensive line there, just stringing the play out, forcing him back inside to the help.
It's a Unioto defense that only allowed 10.5 points per game last season. 2nd and 8, back to the ground. Here's Poches to the outside, has a little bit of space, and up the far sideline. Poches has the first down for Portsmouth.
Here on the left side, I think just held on a little too long. I originally thought he was going to get away from it. There on the number 75, Jonathan Carter, there on the edge, I think is who they got, but the official went to the flag there and tossed it out just back inside the 25. Going to take away a pretty big run. By the time you add it all up, going to cost them about 20 yards, 25 yards of field position.
We talked about the dominance of J.T. Williams and Chase Highland in this Trojan offense last season. Really made it to where nobody else had a lot of carries. Fernando Poches, the lead back this season for the Trojans, only had 8 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown last season. So Portsmouth now backed up behind the sticks. It's 2nd and 18. Four receivers set for Portsmouth. Locklear has trouble with the snap. Now back inside the 15, dumps it off to Poches. He shakes a couple would-be tacklers before a host of Shermans close in. That's Jackson Zicafus on the TFL for Unioto.
Yeah, throughout the preseason, notice Portsmouth had a lot of trouble with the snap and just some of the timing, some of the accuracy. Pretty athletic play there just to get it back and able to get it out to one of his playmakers. But at that point, the play had pretty much been blown up.
Portsmouth now 2 plays removed from what would have been a first down run for the junior tailback, Fernando Poches. It's now 3rd and 24. 4 receivers set, 3 to the left side for Portsmouth. Poches in the backfield alongside Locklear. Five-man rush for Unioto. Poches out to his left, dumps it off into the flats. Caleb Johnson up the far sideline, forced out of bounds around the original line of scrimmage. 4th and long now for the Trojans.
Yeah, pretty good call on both sides there, really. Portsmouth just trying to win some field position. Unioto in soft coverage, everything in front of them, and looks like they're going to get an opportunity to force a punt and get the ball back. Or I should say get the ball for the first time.
Fourth and 11 now for the Trojans. The pooch kick, something we've seen from the Trojans over the years.
Yeah, in the preseason, they'll take number 6, Cameron Williams there, lined up, kind of like you would see there. Now, see if he remains the up guy, and they use someone else. Now they rotate in. That's what I had seen in the preseason there.
Zicafus back on his own 39-yard line. Ball is away from Williams. Zicafus now from his own 35, looking to get to the near sideline. Got a big block, but it'll be a flag down back around the 35. Zicafus brought down around the 32 on the other side of the field. Looks like a crackback block going against the Shermans on the other side.
Yeah, Zicafus shows off a little bit of that speed in the open field, and you come back to the point of attack. You were right on your call there, Dewey. It reminded you a little bit of that holding call earlier there on Portsmouth, where you just barely on the angle there a little bit. Probably didn't even need it. The speed of Zicafus was going to win the edge, I believe. But nonetheless, both teams getting hit by some pretty important flags here in the early going.
So the penalty from Unioto will back them up to the 21-yard line. A field flipping penalty for the Shermans.
I always think it's interesting doing on penalties. We mark that down as a 5 or 10 or a 15, whatever it is, on each call. But then when you look at where the play went, you're talking about a 55, 60-yard difference.
So 1st and 10 from their own 26 for the Shermans, flag down prior to the snap. Offsides against the Trojans. That'll push Unioto up 5. Up front for the Shermans, left to right, Bryce Jarvis, Glenn Stoutridge, Landon Caruth, Dylan Stanley, and Donzel Newland. Newland, the right tackle, had one of the more interesting plays during the Jamboree week. Picked up a fumble and took it about 45 yards the other way. One of the more athletic plays. Here's Beam to the near sideline, forced out of bounds around the 40-yard line. First down for Unioto.
Nice little start there. Obviously, the penalty helps get you 1st and 5. Get it to one of your athletes there on the move, get them to the edge there, and pick up first down run.
4-4 stack for the Trojans defensively, just one high safety. And Leland Skurlock up front. It's Kason Myers, Wesley Runyon, Charles Fletcher, and Zyrell Stubbs. Linebackers Fernando Poches, Dontavian Parker, Trevin Brooks, and Logan Thurman. Caleb Johnson and J.J. Henderson out wide. To the ground, this is David Long between the tackles, brought down at the 41.
Pretty good job there in the point of attack. Portsmouth defensive front doing a nice job. Not a lot of room for Long to run.
Five wide for the Shermans, 2nd down and 9. Coy firing to the far sideline. It's brought in by Braden Harsha. First catch in the high school career for the freshman.
Yeah, really nice looking athlete. Good hands, really quick, elusive in the open field. It's nice to get him a catch under his belt early on, get him settled into the first varsity action that counts.
Third down and 4. As Braden motions to the near side and across midfield, flag down at the 45-yard line. As of now, a first down run for the senior tailback, Cody Braden.
Yeah, going to be about a gain of 10 depending on the flag here. So far, Unioto getting a little bit more success, a little bit to the edge than they have in the middle. Portsmouth pretty senior loaded with Runyon and Fletcher, pretty good size there in the middle. A couple times they've been able to clog that up, but Unioto's speed to the edge, Dewey, so far has had a little bit of success on this opening drive.
So the first carry for Cody Braden last season led the Shermans with 730 yards on the ground along with 16 rushing touchdowns, but he showed the ability to do it both on the ground and through the air. 30 grabs for 360 yards and 4 receiving touchdowns.
Procedure on Unioto comes back 5 yards, so erase that first down run, and looks like we're going to have about third. I think they're going to call it 9.
So the Shermans nearly backed up to the original line of scrimmage. They need the 50-yard line for a new set of downs. Zickofoos, Beam, and Welch out wide for the Shermans. Braden and Long in the backfield alongside Coy. Third down and 9. Coy firing over the middle of the field, and it's picked off. Leland Skurlock right at his own 32-yard line. Trojans take it right back. 8:30 to go in the first.
Good job by Portsmouth defense there. The offense has a little trouble with the unforced error with the snap, and And then obviously the holding penalty, they got backed up. They had to punt it out, and the defense responds here with an early turnover to get the offense right back on the field.
So the Trojans take back over on their own 27-yard line. 1st and 10 for Portsmouth. Four flags make it 5 down prior to the snap. False start against the Trojans.
At least they all agree. Yeah, that's kind of first week stuff too. I know you have your preseason or so forth. You get out here and everybody gets anxious on both sides of the ball. It's got to drive coaches absolutely nuts. But I don't know. I'd like to think that's pretty normal across week one as we watch games into tomorrow night. Wouldn't you say?
Four receiver set on 1st and 15 for Portsmouth. High snap, Locklear rolling out to his right. Has the edge, but is out of bounds for a loss of about 2.
Yeah, again, just the snap not being on. I won't say it's not on time, certainly not on target. And what that does is it disrupts everything in your play fakes and your routes. It's just, again, something they got to get locked in on here, because right now it's moving them and making them play behind the chains quite a bit.
Another high snap to Locklear, and he's brought down inside the 10-yard line. Bryce Jarvis in the backfield for Unioto. And you look across the offensive line for the Trojans, Shane, all upperclassmen except a freshman center.
Yeah, and again, just at this point, what you want to make sure here is you don't make a big mistake here back in your territory. You've already made some that's going to really flip field position. Key on this play is, can you get something positive without turning the ball over, and then see if your special teams can help you, I won't say flip the field, but kind of get out of your back to the wall here.
3rd down and 27. Locklear looking to throw, and it's batted down by Braden. Off the left edge. 4th and 27 coming up for Portsmouth.
Yeah, nice job, Brain. Just, again, sometimes you overrush the athlete and you don't keep your containment. He can get out on the edge and hurt you with his feet. Nice job there of getting a good angle, reads the pass coming out and gets nice and tall and knocks it down. And speaking of snaps, this is going to be a pretty big long snap here early in the game from Logan Thurman. Looks like long snapper here. That's going to be key to be on target here so I can get this ball punted out of here.
This time around, it'll be 2 guys deep for the Shermans with Zickelfoos and Levi Beam. Punt is away from Williams. Fair catch for Zickelfoos. That'll be 1st and 10 on the 37-yard line for Unioto. And Shane, really, it's a Portsmouth team that over the last handful of years has really hung their hat on their ability to move the ball on the ground. We talked about those guys last year in JT Williams and Chase Highland. Williams did throw for over 800 yards last season, but he also ran for 950, and you pair that with Chase Highland, who ran for 1,423 yards as well. So it's a team that not typically going to see aired out too much. They averaged 68 passing yards a game last year while averaging 238 on the ground.
Yeah, that's why I think it's so important for them to stay ahead of the chains, and they just haven't been able to settle into a drive yet.
So the second series now for Unioto, 1st and 10 on the plus 37-yard line. Coy looking to throw on 1st down over the middle. It's brought in by Jack Welch. First catch of the season for the junior. That'll move the chains for the Shermans.
Terrific catch from Welch there. Goes up, knows you're going to take a hit coming down the seam there, down the middle, and then goes up and high points it and does take a pretty good shot, hangs on to it, and Unioto knocking on the door here, trying to play out in front.
Sherman's just outside the red zone as Long motions across the line of scrimmage, flying down prior to the snap. Encroachment against the Trojans. That'll push Unioto up 5. Five wide for the Shermans. Coy quickly gets it to the far sideline. This is Welch once again, and at this time he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Fernando Poches along with Leland Skurlock in on the stop for Portsmouth.
Yeah, really good tackle there. And again, this is where if you're Portsmouth's defense early on, you're trying to see if you can't maybe hold him to 3. Obviously, we mentioned in the early going there, Unioto very solid in the kicking game. They're into Matthey's field goal range for sure based on what I watched there in pregame warm-ups, but you'd certainly have to feel like that would be a win for the Portsmouth defense here in the early going. The other part of that, even with the great field goal kicker, the aggressive nature of Coach Hoops, you get down here and you feel like it's 4-down territory and you want to be real aggressive. So this second down, trying to get a stop here, pretty big play in the drive.
Handoff, this is Cody Brayton to the near sideline, but he's brought down at the 10 by Caleb Johnson. Pick up a 5, first down, and goal to go for Unioto.
Cody's first official carry, because remember on his early carries he had some penalties, and nice job there over on that left side of the offensive line, getting good push there from Jarvis and Stottridge.
First down, goal to go for the Shermans. Just under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Coy will take it himself right up the middle. It's brought down by a host of Trojans defenders just outside the 5-yard line.
Good physical run from Coy. Watching him in the preseason, I think that's been added to his game a little bit more. Certainly inside threat. Keeps everybody honest. He showed a little handoff there, but you could tell that was pretty much designed that he was going to go with that. And 2nd and 6 here. Let's see if they go back to Cody Brayton here. They've had some success to the edge. Like I said earlier, inside the defensive line, the size of Runyon Fletcher doing a pretty good job of keeping the offensive line from getting second level. Unioto's best success, though, he's been right on the edge.
Here's Brayton between the tackles. Fighting for extra yardage, but he'll be marked down right around the 2-yard line. $16 rushing touchdowns last season for Cody Brayton. Needless to say, led the team in that category. Right back to Brayton. This time he's able to punch it in. Touchdown, Unioto.
Yeah, nice job. Unioto goes with tempo. They get right back up on the line of scrimmage. Portsmouth not quite set. Pretty much just a repeat of the same play. Caruth at center, Stanley there on the right side, and Cody Brayton runs through the would-be tackler for 6.
Liam Matthey on for the point after. Matthey 36 of 39 last season on PATs. And now 1 of 1 to begin 2025. It's 7-0. Unioto leading Portsmouth, 4:22 to go in the first quarter. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. 1 chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum. It's 7-0. Unioto leading Portsmouth. Little over 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. A 2-yard rushing touchdown for Cody Brayton, his first this season. Coming off of a 16 rushing touchdown season last year. Definitely somebody that Coach Hoops and the entire Shermans offense can rely on in the red zone.
Yeah, went right back to Coy there following the interception, and I thought the pass play down the middle to Jack Welch right around 15, 16 yards, made a real nice catch, and then they're able to go to the run game and get Braden going, and he finds the end zone there, and just a nice bounce back for the Unioto offense following the turnover.
Mattheon to boot it away for the Shermans. Once again, Skurlock and Cam Williams back deep for the Trojans. Last time around, we saw Matthew squib it to the near side. It was Landon Malone that picked it up. As Matthew now boots it away. Leland Skurlock from his own 3-yard line. Skurlock out to the left hash, and he's brought down, lost the football. But it rolls out of bounds. The Shermans unable to capitalize.
Hey, Skurlock might be slow getting up there. Now it looks like he's there at about the 19-yard line.
Big hit along the far sideline. Skurlock, for the moment, lost the football. It rolls out of bounds, marked down. Looks like the 22-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 for Portsmouth. Injury timeout here at the Coliseum. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Back here in Portsmouth, Leland Skurlock able to walk off on his own power. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans at their own 19-yard line. And it's you go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say with the 2 kickoffs, and then obviously the interception was made down there as well. They haven't had the best of field position, but if you're Portsmouth, you're trying to settle in and try to let some of your athletes. So it looks like they're going to go under center here.
First play of the series, flagged down prior to the snap. False start against Portsmouth. They'll be backed up behind the sticks once again. And with Skurlock out, we'll see the senior Tyshawn Henderson onto the field. Out wide to the far sideline for Portsmouth.
And Dewey, you wonder if it's a little bit of domino effect. You obviously come out and you come under center, and then, a little bit of the timing there, so forth, you don't quite get off the ball. And here you are again. You haven't even been able to run a play, and you're well behind the sticks, and you're not in the best of field position to go with it.
1st and 15, back to the ground. Punch is looking to reverse field to the near sideline, has a block and has some room to run. Posh is out past the 30-yard line. Double-digit pickup for the senior. Rather junior. 1st down for Portsmouth.
Yeah, right around, I'd say about 16 yards on the carry. And that's what we're talking about. Give yourself a chance with your athleticism to run your stuff and to see if your playmakers can get into space. Everything that's happened to Portsmouth to this point's pretty much been self-induced. So that's the good news. If you can just settle in, calm the nerves, get your athletes going a little bit, and see if you can move the football against this talented Unioto defense.
And Posh is including that run, that 1st down run that was wiped off the board, has been fairly efficient here in the early goings. Locklear hands it off. Posh is to the near side. This time not as much room to run, and he's brought down in the backfield by a host of Shermans.
Yeah, really good containment there. Left side looked like that. Howard and company kind of stringing out, getting it back inside, and Long was there to clean it up.
Posh's comes off. Dontavian Parker on for the Trojans. 4 carries for 44 yards and a touchdown last season for the senior. Locklear looking to throw, and it's batted down. Jacob Renner, the senior, off the edge. Third and long coming up for Portsmouth.
Yeah, great job. Renner didn't bite at all. They tried a little play action. Looked like they were going to run the ball away from Renner. He holds true to his lane, and then right there waiting on the quarterback, and then gets nice and tall and knock that thing down. Forces the third and long.
Third down, 11 yards to go, 3:12 here in the first quarter. 3 receivers set with Brooks tight to the right side and another pre-snap penalty. This time it's too many men on the field against Unioto. So that makes this third down much more manageable. Takes it from a 3rd and 11 to 3rd and about 6.
Yeah, and again, just one of those organizational penalties that just drive coaches absolutely nuts here in the early going of the season.
Same formation for the Trojans, 3 wide with Brooks tight to the right side. Locklear surveying, dumps it off in the flats. Here's Parker looking to cut it up, but he's brought down. Cody Braden in on the stop for the Shermans.
Looks like Port's going to have to punt it again. I know they kind of, what happens, you start to get impatient, but you got to understand that it's early here, just down 7-0, and see if you can flip the field a little bit here and give your defense a better chance to be successful.
Punt is away, back deep. Zickelfoos will field it just outside the 30-yard line. He'll take it up to the 40.
That's an athletic play on special teams there, Dewey. You look where that ball's bouncing there. If that ball goes there, it probably gets inside the 30 instead. He's the talented shortstop on their outstanding baseball team. He goes and cuts it off in the hole, if you will, and then takes it up 10 yards. That's a huge field position play.
So the Shermans just outside their own 40-yard line, the 43. 1st and 10, 2:21 to go in the first. As Braden motions, he'll take the handoff, a pre-snap penalty against Unioto. Pre-snap penalties have been the trend here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think unofficially that's 4 penalties now on Unioto for right around 30 yards, and I think 3 of those have just been what I would call organizational penalties, where you just kind of do it to yourself. You can live with the ones where the holds or the block in the back earlier because kids are playing hard trying to make a play. You can live with those. But the unforced ones where you just simply don't line up and get the play off cleanly, those are the ones that, Unioto has a lot of experience out there. They want to clean that up.
So the Shermans will start the series behind the sticks, and another pre-snap penalty. False start against Unioto. 1st and 20, and they have not even ran a play. But that just goes back to what you've been talking about, Shane. It's not too uncommon to see in week 1. 1st and 20, Coy to the far sideline. It's brought in Jackson Zickelfoos out past the original line of scrimmage and just shy of midfield. 2nd and 6 coming up for Unioto.
Yeah, nice design there. They just run a little clear out route and sit Welch down, Zickelfoos down underneath there a little bit, and they get quite a bit of it back here.
Officially 2nd down and 4, so a 14-yard pickup from Coy to Zickelfoos. Long in the backfield along Coy, 4 receivers bunched up to the right side. On the ground, here's David Long to his own sideline, just shy of the 1st down. He's brought down by the senior linebacker, Dontavian Parker.
Long second carry of the night. That time, similar to his early carry, that time he went outside a little bit more. Comes up about a yard short. And, you're on the plus side now. I could see this being 4-down territory, but I know Coach Hoops probably just soon get it here so he doesn't have to make that early decision.
Braden motions Coy, looking to keep it himself. Has the first down and more. Looks like they'll have him marked down at the plus 45-yard line, so a pickup of 3 for the junior quarterback. First down, Unioto.
Nice patient run from Coy. Shows it to Braden there. Keeps the edge honest and then just tucks it under and gets in behind. Good offensive line play there. Caruth up front, doing a nice job there at the point of attack. Was Stanley and Newland as well.
Fresh set of downs for Unioto, 1st and 10 from the plus 45. Empty backfield, Coy looking to pass on first down, firing over the middle for Zikafus, but it's up over the hands of the senior wideout. 2nd and 10 for Unioto.
Pretty good pass protection. Had a window there, just a little high on the delivery, but I've been impressed how Coy just bounces right back. Hasn't shown any issue from the interception at all. No confidence problem at all.
Looks like we're going to have our first time out of the afternoon. Unioto calls their first, $1:35 to go here in the first quarter. So Shane, nearly a quarter down here on this first Thursday of the 2025 seasons for either team. Any takeaways you'd like to share as we wait for the timeout?
I think the common theme so far has just been the unforced errors. I think it's really hurt the offensive rhythm on both sides, because what happens is it not only puts you back behind the chains, which obviously makes play calling harder and it makes it harder to make first downs and all that good stuff, but what it also does is it just it hurts your timing, it hurts your aggressiveness. You start playing a little bit more timid, a little bit more, not flying off the ball the way you'd want to, and that'll be something for me to watch, is to see which team can clean it up the fastest and play with a little bit more aggression.
So out of the timeout, it's 2nd down and 10 for the Shermans. Coy back to pass. He'll dump it off. A screen play to the near side. Cody Braden flagged down back in the backfield for Unioto.
Set up really nicely. I just wonder if they didn't get downfield there. Well, on the shift.
Would have been a pickup of 9, but instead it'll be brought back. 2nd and 15 from midfield for Unioto coming up.
Get an offensive play set up really well. Got their playmaker out into space. Was going to be a big play. So one on the stat sheet, it looks like a 5-yard penalty, but once again, it's about a 20-yard penalty in terms of field position.
4 wide with Long tight to the left side of the line. Coy looking to throw on 2nd and 15, firing to the far sideline for Zikafus, but just out of the reach of the senior. Second time we've seen Coy look for that long ball to Zikafus, but the tandem just has not been able to hook up yet.
Pass protection was good. Now, the flag started to die there a little bit. I know early on, with the way the wind was blowing, a pretty good breeze going here tonight, he was throwing that high ball up into the wind, but that ball had a nice carry to it.
So 3rd and long, 15 yards to go. The Shermans need the plus 35-yard line. Coy looking to throw, forced out of the pocket. He'll keep it himself inside the 40-yard line, and it looks like he'll have it. Rather marked down 5 yards shy, having him step out of bounds at the plus 40-yard line. It'll be 4th and 5 for the Shermans.
Yeah, he got flushed out to the right side. Zikafus did an outstanding job. He recognized his quarterback was taking off, and he immediately turned and becomes a blocker for him, and gets gets Coach Hoops into a pretty good decision time here. But I think, on the plus side at the 40, the way your defense has played to this point, I like the call here to go ahead and give your offense a chance.
4th and 5, Braden motions. And a pre-snap penalty, looks like near side. It was Stubbs. Jumped into the neutral zone. That'll most likely be a first down for Unioto.
And you assume Unioto was going to snap it and go anyway, but why not? Why not get to the line and give the hard count? And you get you a freebie on the first down there.
So a fresh set of downs for the Shermans. 1st and 10 from the plus 35-yard line. Back to the ground. Cody Braden between the tackles, brought down just shy of the 30. Pick up of 4 yards for the senior.
You haven't had a chance to see Braden run the ball. He's a nice, strong kid. Gets his shoulders square, nice physical runner. Plenty of athleticism and quickness as well, but I like how he physically finishes the run.
Less than a minute to go here in the first quarter. 2nd and 6 for the Shermans. 3 wide, Braden in the backfield alongside Coy. Beam motions across the line of scrimmage. Coy looking to throw to the far sideline, and it's hauled in by the freshman. Rather, junior Jack Welch. Right at the line to gain. It's a Sherman team that you're going to see go fairly deep. We've already seen 6 wide receivers in tonight's game. Zickafoose, Beam, Welch, Weingardner, Langoff, and Harsha. As they give the Shermans the first down, 1st and 10 from the 25.
That was an outstanding route, outstanding throw. They showed the run game with Beam there, and then they just toss it right out, and a good route running, get right past the sticks and make the play.
Jet sweep. Here's Levi Beam to the near side, cuts it up the left hash, and is brought down at the 20. Pickup of 5 for the junior. Shermans do not have to run another play.
Second time we've seen Beam on that play. Started the game with that call. And this time he gives them 5, and you're getting into that 4-down territory where when Unioto starts running at you from a lot of different angles, a lot of different athletes, they can be tough to stop here.
So the Shermans will let the timer run down. We'll flip the field. 2nd and 5 from the plus 20 for the Shermans when we return to the Trojan Coliseum. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum here in Portsmouth after 1. Unioto leading the Trojans 7-0. They're once again knocking on the door. 2nd and 5 at the Trojan 20. Shane, outside of the penalties, that was kind of the main takeaway, an extremely penalty-ridden first quarter. What are your main takeaways offensively or defensively for either team after the first quarter?
Well, coming in, the thing I had my eye on was how many different skill kids Coach Hoops could have his talented quarterback Coy spread the ball around to. And that's starting to show up on this drive. I think you made a nice call a second ago. You've seen 6 different wide receivers in formation at some point tonight. I think it's what you called. And, we've had, looking down at my stat sheet, about 4 different guys catch a ball. And then we've had about, including Coy, looks like about 4 different guys run it, and we're only a quarter in. So, again, that shows off a little bit of what I'm talking about there. Get the good offensive line play, spread the ball around, let your athletes work.
So the Shermans now on the other side of the field. 2nd down and 5. Flag down prior to the snap. Coy launching to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Looking for Levi Beam on the back line. Illegal shift against the Shermans. That'll bump them back 5. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, against some of the pre-snap issues. That time they tried to run Beam right down the seam, and
Shane, this is an interesting spot. Given the spot on the field, is this an instance where you take the 3rd and 5 or you push it back to 2nd and 10?
Well, that is an interesting call because I think with the way teams have messed up, I think I take it down because, again, what you do is you put a little pressure on Coach Hoops when you have that field goal kicker, where a lot of people wouldn't even have the decision. Here's where having the field goal kicker does put a little bit more decision into it.
Trojans decline the penalty, 3rd down and 5. Cody Braden on the ground to the far sideline. Looks like he has the first down, but a flag down around the 20. So 2 plays and 2 flags, more or less summarizes the game so far. It was a 40-minute first quarter. This one once again against the Shermans. Got to figure this one will be enforced. So.
Well, you and I have been anxious to get back in football, so we don't have anywhere to go tonight, I guess.
More football here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority coming your way the rest of the week. Carson Francis and Shane Combs will have Miami Trace and Waverly tomorrow night. I believe it'll be Carson and John Bruce on Saturday down in Jackson as they host Little Miami. And you and I with some Saturday afternoon volleyball action, our second match this season over in Frankfort.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing Adina and South Webster, 2 programs that no stranger to the Elite 8 Sweet 16 just about every year.
3rd and 10, Coy all alone in the backfield, firing over the middle for Zikafus, and he brings it in. Touchdown, Unioto. 25 yards on the connection.
Big time throw, big time catch. Coy getting pressured there from the outside. Stubbs got there and kind of let up, trying not to get the late hit. Coy stands in, takes the hit and delivers a ball, and Zikafus just athletically goes up and gets it. What a big time play on a 3rd down and to turn it in to 6 for Unioto.
4 receiving touchdowns as a junior for Zikafus, his first as a senior. Mattheon for the point after. Now 2 for 2 on the night. It's 14-0, 11:41 to go in the first half. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Back here at the Trojan Coliseum, Unioto leading Portsmouth 14-0. 25-yard passing touchdown from Isaac Coy to Jackson Zikafus. Second score tonight for the Shermans. Cody Braden with a 2-yard plunge earlier on in the first quarter. Overall, 2 successful scoring drives, but also the penalties for Portsmouth have played a role in the Shermans' ability to move the ball down the field.
Well, you talk about big-time players making big-time plays, and that's what Coy and Zikafus do right there, because if that ball falls incomplete, you feel like you're probably going to come up on a long field goal attempt from Matthew, and even as good as he is, there's no guarantee from about 42 yards that, that knocks through. So that could be, do the math there, that could have been a big swing in the scoreboard there as you go in here. So really, really a desperate time for Portsmouth to try to put a good drive together here.
Sherman's leading by a couple of scores. Matthew boots this one away. Williams, along with Poches, watch it fly into the end zone for a touchback.
And again, at the high school level, what a great weapon. Unioto fans that follow throughout the year, don't take that for granted. That's a huge weapon in terms of field position at the high school level. I've seen it for years where teams don't have the ability to do it, so they'll squib kick a little bit, or they can't. They try to kick it deep, but they can't get it to the end zone. Well, now, return man gets some space. So that's just what a great special teams weapon.
Trojans now without their multi-year kicker Malachi Loper graduating this past year. Haven't had a chance to see the Trojans kicking game yet tonight. Locklear quickly gets it out to the near side. This is Cam Williams, but he's brought down at the 20. No gain on the play. Judah Zikafus in on the stop for Unioto.
Yeah, impressive speed there from Judah Zikafus. Not letting that get to the edge and get outside. No gain.
Over the years, we have seen Cam Williams show off the explosiveness, show off the speed. Just not a lot of room that time around for the junior. Dontavian Parker in the backfield alongside Locklear. Locklear will keep it himself between the tackles, barreling forward just shy of the 30-yard line. Nearly had the first down, looked to be a pickup of about 8 yards for the senior.
Yeah, I like the call. Go ahead and get north-south. Get involved in the running game there a little bit and give yourself third and a little bit more manageable.
Third down, 2 yards to go for Portsmouth.
Well, just able to convert it here. Just give your defense a chance to get off the field here a little bit. Possess the ball.
Brooks tight to the right side of the line, 3 wide. Handoff, this is Parker. Not a lot of room, and he's brought down in the backfield, initially stopped by David Long, finally brought down by a host of Shermans.
There's a couple things I love there. One, up front, the first thing you're getting is great job of the defensive line, not allowing the offensive line to get to the second level. And what that does is it frees up Long to fly to the football, and the sure tackler Long gets him to the ground.
4th and 4. Cam Williams in the pistol. We've seen the pooch punt a couple times tonight. Zikafus by himself, back on his own 45. Ball is away from Williams, and it is not a long one. Bounces into the hands of Zikafus, and he's out of bounds at midfield.
Friendly bounce helps a little bit there to at least get it to midfield, but again, a big third down stop there. Portsmouth just trying to settle into the game a little bit. They were 3rd and 2, one of their more manageable third downs. And again, I thought the defensive line of Jarvis and Wilson did a good job there in the middle to allow Long to come. Real big play. Put a little star next to that one because now all of a sudden Unioto gets the ball back at midfield and a chance to add on.
Sherman's defense and offense working perfectly together. The defense has given the offense some outstanding field position the last couple drives. 1st and 10, Coy looking downfield for Braden. It's out of the reach of the senior. And Shane, the window was there. That's something you figure as the season goes on, we'll see that connection come through more and more.
No question. Coy'd probably tell you he'd like to have that one back. They got the matchup they wanted, and that's that hybrid. I mean, obviously Braden's known for the hard running, but he's a great athlete. They can line him up in a lot of different ways, and he's going to get some of those matchups. That time he got behind the defender, and they just couldn't quite pitch and catch to get it to the end zone, but certainly one that they'll put in the back of their mind and maybe go back to.
30 catches for 360 yards last season. That would have led the Trojans. Offensively, here's Yusef Wilson with some room to run out past the 40-yard line and brought down at the 35. First carry of the night for Yusef Wilson.
Well, it shows you the depth of Unioto when we're 3 minutes into the second quarter and Wilson gets his first carry. You're talking about someone last year with some of the injuries that Unioto went through early in the year at the running back position. He jumps in, had a nice year there statistically.
54 carries, 209 yards, and a touchdown. Also had a grab for 26, so the explosiveness is there for the junior. Empty backfield for Isaac Coy on 1st and 10. Wilson once again in motion. Back-to-back handoffs for the junior, and he's got some room to the far sideline. Yusef Wilson with a first down carry for the Shermans.
Yeah, why not go back to it, getting 15 yards a pop. He has the quickness, he has the speed, but keep in mind this is a young man that's involved in the defensive line play. He's a very strong, low center of gravity kid as well, and he just shows off a little bit of all of it here on these first 2 runs, and Unioto knocking on the door behind the running of Wilson.
Wilson and Long tight to both sides of the line. Fakes the handoff to Wilson. Coy now under pressure, forced out of the pocket, and Coy will be brought down.
Real disciplined job there. Looks like Brooks got there. Thurman might have been there as well, but they fake the run game and everybody stays home, and then once they flush Coy from the pocket, they just swarm him and get him to the ground.
Logan Thurman was in on the stop for the Trojans. 2nd and 16 coming up for Unioto. A little under 8 minutes to go here in the first half. 2nd and 16, back to the Brown. Braden to the left side, out to the 20-yard line, and barreling inside the 15. Just shy of the first down.
Yeah, they just load up the left side of the formation, short side of the field. Not a whole lot fancy about it. Just hand it to your big-time back, and he gets in behind some outstanding blocking. Probably wasn't even touched for about the first 8-9 yards of the run.
So 3rd down, 4 yards to go for Unioto. Back to the ground with Braden, makes the first man miss, barreling forward inside the 10. First down, goal to go for Unioto.
Little north-south running, get right in behind Caruth there. See if Unioto decides to just keep it on the ground. That's been the moneymaker here on this particular drive, starting with Wilson and now with Braden.
Coy hands it off. Cody Braden between the tackles into the end zone. His 2nd touchdown tonight. It's 20-0. Shermans leading Portsmouth.
Yeah, 6 yards, nothing fancy about it. Just goes right up the middle, runs through some tackles, and gets into the end zone his 2nd time this evening. And Unioto threatening to break this thing open here in the 2nd quarter. Now up 20-0 with another Matthew PAT to come.
Zickafoos has the hold down. Matthew now 3 for 3 from the PAT tonight. It's 21-0. Unioto leading Portsmouth. 6:38 to go here in the first half.
I like what you said earlier about complementary football because, again, I thought the 3rd down stop from Long was really important on the 3rd and 2. Not because that drive was going to go on to maybe produce points, but Portsmouth just needed to possess the ball a little bit and kind of get their defense off the field. And when they were unable to convert, the punt goes to midfield. And then there you go. So it's defense, then special teams, and then offense, all kind of married together to make it work. Coach Hoop's got to be very pleased with all 3 phases there.
21-0. Unioto leading Portsmouth. The Shermans back in action next Friday when they travel to Vinton County for Portsmouth. Just down the road. In-town rivalry at Portsmouth West. Portsmouth West, one of the more ground and pound, heavy ground and pound teams in the coverage area. One of the heavyweights in the SOC last season. Of course, Portsmouth, a heavyweight in their own conference last season, ultimately came down to a 2-point conversion against Fairland, one of the more controversial finishes in Southern Ohio last season. 22-21 final.
Yeah, I've had that sports conversation with a lot of people. It certainly was an instant classic finish. Depending on what side you're on, you probably have different opinions of it.
21-0, 6:38 to go in the half. Matthew boots it away. Williams once again watches it fly. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Portsmouth. And Shane offensively, just from what you have seen so far for the Trojans, what has to change for them? We've seen them have that explosive play from now and then. It's just been sustaining drives.
I really think that's it. As they've started to clean up the snap and some of the pre-snap penalties, you've seen some ability in the run game, certainly seen some athleticism. They got to win first down a little bit more and stay ahead of the chains. They have found themselves, 2nd and 12, 3rd and 15 a lot this evening.
Locklear back to pass. 1st and 10, forced out of the pocket to the right side. He'll throw it away. Pressure from Jacob Renner off the left edge.
Yeah, Renner looks like Jarvis. Really about 3 or 4 white jerseys getting pretty deep into the backfield there.
And certainly at the high school level, anytime you bring in a freshman lineman, especially at the center position, which when things go bad can kind of show to be the most important position on the line at the high school level.
Well, so many offenses today run out of the pistol, shotgun, whatever you want to call different types of snaps. They don't really go under center as much. So what I've noticed is the accuracy of that snap dictates so much in the play. You have guys coming in motion, you're showing handoffs, and you have run pass options. Yeah, so it's just a lot as Portsmouth's going to get hit with a penalty there on the loss of down as well. So that's the double whammy.
Intentional grounding against the Trojans. That pushes them all the way back to their own 3-yard line, including the loss of down. So it's 2nd and 27 for Portsmouth. Backed up to their own goal line. Locklear looking to pass near side. Here's Cam Williams. One-on-one with Zikafus, who brings him down. Third and long coming up for Portsmouth.
That's a little bit what I'm talking about there when you were asking me about Portsmouth offense. The question is, I don't know if we're going to come away tonight knowing, because what happens there, well, it could have been an incomplete pass. Okay, well, your 2nd and 10 is maybe a different play call. 2nd and however many that is, 20-some. And then now you are 3rd and 25. You don't have very many plays in the playbook for this.
4 wide for the Trojan. Poche is in the backfield alongside Locklear. Locklear out of the pocket to the right side. He'll dump it off. Caleb Johnson, but nowhere to go. Judith Sekofus in on the stop. Pickup of about 1 yard on the play for Portsmouth, 4th and long.
Well, and just to kind of illustrate the point we're talking about here, Locklear, put the ball up right around 8 times tonight. He's completed a pretty nice percentage of them, right around 5 or 6 of them, but he hasn't been able to throw the ball downfield because he's been running, pushed out of the pocket a little bit. And I have another, looks like substitution there. I think they ended up breaking the huddle with 12, I assume, because it looks like they got one coming off.
Half the distance to the goal for the Trojans. Either way, 4th and long. Zikafus back just outside the Trojans' 35-yard line. Punt is away from Williams. So this one will be down just inside the 35. Some backspin on that one, Shane. Nearly stuck down right where it hit the ground.
Yeah, it looked like a Dewey Daly wedge coming in there with a little knockdown. But, yeah, had the friendly hop last time. That time it doesn't. And, look, it's the same story, isn't it? I mean, the special teams kicks it in the end zone, then the defense gets the stop right away, and then the special teams has you sitting here at this. You start giving this offense this field position, it's going to be quite a fall for the Unioto offensive group.
It's a favorable field position for the Shermans to begin the drive. Coy first down, firing downfield, and it's brought in.
Just an unbelievable catch there by the rookie. It looked like the ball might have been just a touch underthrown. He kind of goes back and makes a nice play right up over top of the defender. Going to give it right around 32 yards on the completion. Coy.
Braden Harsha. Big time grab for the freshman. First down, goal to go for the Shermans.
Unofficially going to start to push Coy up around over 90 yards, knocking on 100 here in the first half.
First down, Coy will keep it himself. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Shermans. It's 27-0, Unioto leading Portsmouth.
Yeah, Coy will get the 1 yard run. We'll put a little star next to that one, set up by the great field position in the 32-yard throw and catch to Braden Harsha. And nice big play from their rookie wide receiver there to get him in to the goal line, and Coy finishes off.
Matthew knocks another one through. It's 28-0. 3:50 to go here in the first half. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget, as well as 60 months, 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
Back here at the Trojan Coliseum, Unioto leading Portsmouth 28-0, 3:50 to go in the first half. Another quick and efficient scoring drive for the Shermans, once again aided by the outstanding field position, all thanks to the Shermans defense.
Yeah, been real impressed with how all three phases have worked together. I think Matthew has been really, really important in the kicking game. His kickoffs have been, a couple different times into the end zone, made good on all 4 extra points, so that's been a factor. And then obviously the defense not allowing a whole lot to Portsmouth here in the first half.
Matthew with another strong kick. Poches won't even think about it. First and 10 for Portsmouth from their own 20-yard line.
If you're Portsmouth, you got to understand you're in week 1. A lot of football here to play. It's going to be a long hill to climb here tonight. But to me, putting on my coaching hat here, Dewey, to me, I feel like this next 3:50 before the half and then how they come back out in the third quarter has far more to do with the next 9 weeks than it does necessarily here in this week 1 result.
We've seen some flashes from the junior tailback, Fernando Poches. Unfortunately, when you're behind the sticks on first and second down, it's really hard to establish that strong run game. As Locklear looks to pass, he'll dump it off. Here's Poches near side in the flats. Makes the first man miss. Is forced out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line. A pickup of about 9 yards on first down for the Trojans.
Yeah, I like how they get their athlete out in space. It's one-on-one. He's extremely difficult to tackle in that situation. He's able to run through an arm tackle and then get 9 and put him in. This is one of the first times I can remember them being in a nice down and distance situation on second down.
Four receiver set. Poches off the right hip of Marquez Locklear. Here's Poches near side. Sheds the first would-be tackler, needed the 30. It looks like he just got it for the first down.
Outstanding effort. There wasn't a whole lot there, and then he just got real physical at the end of the run and was able to get the yard that he needed. Nice job.
The Trojans move the sticks. Fresh set of downs. First and 10 from their own 30. Locklear lost the football on the handoff. Initially looked like he was able to get back on top of it. It'll be a loss of about 2 yards. Officially 3, 2nd and 13.
Yeah, and just you're kind of right back to the theme of the night there. Before you get the 9-yard and you're in 2nd and 1, now you have the miscue and it puts you back behind the sticks. Yeah, and that's going to be a big focus as Portsmouth moves forward, just trying to eliminate the unforced negative play so that you can keep the entire playbook open.
Locklear back to pass on 2nd down over the middle, and it's picked off. Jack Weingartner on the takeaway for the Shermans. Weingartner led the Shermans in tackles last season, did have an interception, already matches that total from last year here in week 1.
Yeah, nice job. Got good depth there. Had the entire play develop right in front of him, and then Weingartner just goes up and makes a good play on the ball. And Unioto with 2:30, still plenty of time here with their firepower to see if they can play a little bit add-on here before the half.
Two minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the first half. It's a Shermans team that over the last couple of years we've seen not need a whole lot of time to strike. 1st and 10, Coy back to pass, firing up the left hash, looking downfield for Braden, and it's incomplete, rather picked off. On the ground, Leland Skurlock, his 2nd interception of the night. As unorthodox as it gets, doesn't matter, goes down as another takeaway for the Trojans.
Well, Portsmouth certainly will take it. Good concentration. That's why you stay with it all the way to the end. I have to believe somewhere in the route combination, Dewey, someone was just a little bit off in terms of their lane or the seam that they were trying to run there. You had 2 receivers really close to the ball. Ball gets tipped up in the air, and then Spurlock makes a great play on securing the interception.
So perhaps a second opportunity for the Trojans offense here in the first half. Locklear will keep it himself, showing off the wheels, brought down just shy of the 25, pick up a 4. It's a Trojan offense that's really built with a lot of guys that have a lot of speed, have a lot of explosiveness, but it's been a suffocating defensive effort so far for Unioto. Locklear back to pass. He'll look to keep it himself, bringing it to the near side. Now looking to get back to the right hash, but he's brought down just outside the 25. Jacob Renner. And on the stop for the Shermans.
Athletic play from the quarterback there. Nothing there. And avoids the sack. Gets himself back up at a line of scrimmage. Really gained a yard or 2, which puts him in 3rd and manageable. And looks like Unioto's going to use the timeout, I think is what I saw.
Second timeout tonight for the Shermans. Buck 23, 3rd down, 3 yards to go for the Trojans.
Some clock management here. Sure, it's a 3rd down play. You want to make sure you're on the same page. I think it has as much to do with killing the clock. And you might say at 28-0, that doesn't matter, but early in the year, you're constantly looking to work on situations. So this is one of those time and score. Yeah, that's a term we don't use in football as much as we do maybe in basketball, and I think it's silly that we don't. Time and score here, what you're working on is can you get a stop and then maybe get the ball back, and again with your offense and your great field goal kicker, can you play a little add-on? Because at 28-0, does it matter tonight? Maybe not, but you certainly can be into a closer game down the road where you want to have this situation to have on film and to get better with.
So out of the timeout, it's 3rd and 3. 1:23 to go in the half. 3 wide, Posh is in the backfield along with Locklear. Shotgun snap, Locklear out of the pocket, looking downfield, wide open. It's Cam Williams has the 1st down for the Trojans. First time we've seen Locklear really air it out over the middle with confidence.
Well, I love the play call. They get him out of the pocket, get him out in space. So then what happens is you're out there one-on-one with the shifty quarterback. it creates a little bit more room for him to work, and then he's able to find his receiver down the field, and Williams there for the first down.
So the Trojans elect to take their first time out of the half.
Nice positive for Portsmouth there, just move change. Still have minute 15. Now let's see if you can come up with another big play. I think we both agree that they have 2 or 3 young men that if they get in space and had a chance to hit a home run, they certainly could.
First time out of the half for the Trojans. Shane, I did want to ask, outside of the 3 games being broadcasted this weekend, obviously Portsmouth, Unioto, Miami, Trace, Waverly, Jackson, Little, Miami, any other games that maybe caught your eye on this week's slate?
I don't know about games as much as teams. There's been a lot of teams that no matter who they're playing, I'm just intrigued by. You know, like some of these teams that are falling into the 3rd, 4th place, they're like the Westfall group and the SVC is an interesting group to me. And I think there's some teams like that in a lot of conferences.
1st and 10, Locklear out of the pocket, wide open in the flats. It's Cam Williams once again. He'll be marked down at the 34. No gain on the completion. As the clock continues to run, less than a minute to go in the half. Trojans not even close to set. Landon Malone wide open on the far sideline. This one will be coming back. Malone inside the 25.
That's a shame for Portsmouth too, because they get that first big play of the night and it's going to come back, and you were spot on in your call there. They never were organized at the line of scrimmage, and pretty easy call, and the flag comes out.
Shane, you mentioned the SVC. I think that Battle of the Valleys with Lucasville and Paint Valley's one that may fly under the radar. A lot of unknowns for both of those teams.
Well, John and I talked about on Sosa the other night, if you're a team with a smaller roster, you may be as dangerous as any time in the year on opening night, because you think I'd be when you're the healthiest.
2nd and 15 following the penalty. Locklear, all kinds of trouble. He's brought down in the backfield. David Long, Youssef Wilson, Jacob Renner all in on the stop for the Shermans.
Yeah, many of those names you said having quite a night. Much better job of Unioto that time on the rollout, rolling with him and setting a better edge. Earlier they let the speedy quarterback get to the edge, and he got out in space where you can't contain him. Really, really well done by the left side of the Unioto defensive front, as well as their linebackers.
Trojans are going to let this one run out. Unioto leading Portsmouth 28-0 at the break. We'll step aside. Halftime show when we return to the Trojan Coliseum. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to wish all the fall sports athletes a very safe and successful year. Good luck.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Pregame Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometownchevy.com.
The Mets now play the break. Let's give one last round of applause for Unioto Shermans.
Can I ask you guys something? Can you guys say happy birthday to one of the cheerleaders? Okay.
For tonight's halftime performance, the Portsmouth High School Marching Band, led by Field Commander Jason Leonard, proudly presents Part 1 and 3 of this year's competition show titled Animal I Become. Songs this year include Animal I Have Become, featuring a trumpet duet by Katie Parker and Sarah King. Seek and Destroy, featuring an alto sax solo by senior Noah Oliver. Creek, with a tenor sax solo by senior Sean Sewell and a rifle solo by Neil Hollins, and Symphony of Destruction, featuring a trombone solo by Jymara Fisher. The Trojan Marching Band would like to wish the Marching Shermans good luck on the rest of their season.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
Back here at the Trojan Coliseum, Shane Combs along with Dewey Daly. Shane, I think one of the things that I kind of have to recondition myself about football is how long the breaks are. You know, you do baseball, there's no break. You do basketball, it's usually a 10 or 15-minute break, and you come back to the fall, and it's a 20 to 23-minute break, given if the school puts on another 3 minutes for warm-ups after the initial 20 minutes go down. But what an outstanding hospitality setup we've had from the Portsmouth Athletic Department. It's something that's been in place for the last handful of years. It's needless to say one of our favorite parts about coming down here, but the Portsmouth Athletic Department runs a class act operation down here.
Well, that's well said. I mean it's you know, like a buffet in here. You know what I mean? It's one of those where they just spoil you rotten, and we do appreciate it. And obviously this is a game tonight that gets a lot of attention because it is one of the few games in the area, as we talked about back in the pregame coverage. But yeah, absolutely. Always appreciate the hospitality down here. And it's just a beautiful facility. If you haven't been down here, I tried to put a picture out on social media earlier from our vantage point. You look out across, we're right on the 50-yard line. You look out, and there's a lot of beautiful backdrop in all directions.
Definitely one of the showcase facilities the Southern Ohio coverage area has to offer. Now, Shane, back to the football game. Unioto set to receive the opening kickoff of the second half, deferring after winning the opening coin toss. It's a Unioto team that we've seen just execute their plays, given the first quarter. It was a 40-minute first quarter just with all the penalties for both sides, but the back half of the first half, Unioto really sharpened up things, and we started to see Isaac Coy really connect on those deep balls, one to Zikafus and one to Harsha. That's something that we didn't see a lot of his first couple deep ball attempts, but it seems like the junior is starting to click here in the back half of week one.
Yeah, I think that's well said on your part. I thought the second quarter was way cleaner than the first quarter. Both teams started to get into a little bit of rhythm. You know, unofficially, I had Coy throwing it around 12 times or so, and I'd say he probably had 2 or 3 throws he'd like to have back. The one interception was a little bit tough luck, and again, I'm not so sure that the route combination was completely what it was supposed to be, but I also thought he threw 2 or 3 really nice balls and sparked his team a little bit. Obviously, the big play that wasn't a touchdown. He had the one 25-yard score to Zikafus, but then he also had that 32-yarder to Harsha that set up his own Coy 1-yard touchdown run. So certainly getting involved, and then obviously they can go to Braden and get something. Don't underestimate even the 2 carries from Wilson where he gets like 30 yards there. I've been so impressed with the depth of Unioto over the last couple of years. In that first half, you have 4 different guys, Harsha, Welch, and Zikafus involved in the pass game as well. And, Braden, they tried to run some different routes with. And then on the running side, Coy keeps it a couple times. Braden up over 40 yards and a couple touchdowns. I mentioned a second ago Wilson with a couple carries for 30 yards. Beam got involved in the run game. Long got involved in the run game. So Beam a little bit in motion to the outside. I like that option for Coach Hoops. And just a real balanced attack for Unioto. And I think that you put that on film in week one, I think it has some upcoming defensive coordinators maybe shaking their head.
And Shane, you talk about that balance, you talk about that depth for Unioto, and a lot of that has to come because of the ability to have guys playing just one way. It keeps guys fresh, and it makes it much easier to execute on both sides of the football.
And I think that shows up into the second quarter, third quarter here early in the year. Conditioning, you're going to get some heat. Now tonight's kind of a little bit more of a true fall night, but you're going to get some heat. You're going to get some different cramping issues and so forth. So that can really start to play into the second and third quarter. Certainly going to play into weeks 4, 5, 6, 7 as you get deeper into the fall. But yeah, that's certainly a staple of the Unioto program is the depth.
And Shane, one of the key points we made in the pregame about Portsmouth was there could be some growing pains tonight with a first-year quarterback and first-year running back and a first-year center as well, and that was certainly easily to be seen in the first quarter, although you started to see Locklear and Poches seem to gain a little bit of confidence in the back half of the second quarter.
My biggest positive if I'm Portsmouth is all of the mistakes early on that buried you. I'd say about 95% of them were you did yourself. As good as your opponent is tonight, so much of it was you doing it to yourself. As they started to clean up, they have 2 or 3 athletes here on my sheet. When they have the opportunity to run a clean play and use their athleticism and get to the edge, they're going to make some plays throughout the year. So a lot of football ahead in the next 9.5 weeks for Portsmouth. They just got to stick with it because, again, just got to clean up some unforced errors.
So the senior Jacob Roth set to boot it away to kick off the second half. First time we've seen Roth tonight taking over kicking duties from graduated Malachi Loper. Second half underway here in Portsmouth. Short kick bounces back towards the Trojans. Unioto's got to get on top of that. It looks like Jackson Zikafus does. Nearly disaster for the Shermans to open up the third quarter.
Yeah, well scouted, well executed by Portsmouth. Unioto leaves a real big gap there, and some of the upmen kind of left the ball. And then when that ball hit the turf, you almost got the impression from 2 or 3 Unioto guys they didn't quite understand that was a live football. So very fortunate to have possession of the ball here at the 30.
The Shermans will open up with 3 wide receivers, 1 man tight to the left side, now motioning across the line of scrimmage. That's David Long. And they'll go to the ground. Cody Braden, all kinds of room to the right hash. Cody Braden to the near sideline. 1 man to beat, and he's forced out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Over a 50-yard pickup for the senior tailback, Cody Braden.
Yeah, had it right around 50 or 51. We'll see where they spot it here, but that's that's just big-time offensive line play there, Dewey. I mean, you're coming off the right side with Stanley and Newland, and that was basically a 50-yard run and touch football. He went through the hole and then got out in the open field and used his speed. Big play to start the half.
And Shane, that's something we've seen already here in week one, Unioto's ability to flip the field on the first play from scrimmage. 1st and 10, Coy looking to throw. Now he'll take it himself. Makes the first man miss inside the 15-yard line where he's brought down. Just shy of the line to gain. 2nd and short coming up for the Shermans.
Well, we talked about complementary football phase to phase. This is complementary football on the offensive side. When you get the big-time run from the likes of Braid, now all of a sudden you show that, and it's going to draw a lot of attention. The athletic Coy pulls it back and sets up 2nd and short. What are they calling that there? About an 8-yard gain?
Officially a pickup of 9 yards on the ground for Isaac Coy. 2nd and 1, back to the ground. Cody Braden up to the 10-yard line. First down for Unioto. Goal to go for the Shermans inside the 10.
Just like that. Braden, kind of a slow start tonight, only had about 4 carries there in the first quarter and then picked it up in the second quarter. Now all of a sudden he's knocking on the door of 100, got him up into the 90s unofficially on just about 9 or 10 carries. So shows off his ability to be explosive in the run game just as they can be in the pass game.
First down, goal to go for the Shermans. Coy has trouble with the snap. Forced out of the pocket, lobbing it to the end zone, and it's brought in. Jack Welch for the touchdown. Nine yards on the connection as the clock continues to run. Now a running clock here in the second half.
Yeah, again, that's just Coy hanging in there. Again, he's taking a couple shots on some big throws. That time a 9-yard touchdown finds Welch, who just stayed with the play.
This time around, it was Tanner Beam on the point after. He knocks it through. It's 35-0. Unioto leading Portsmouth. We'll take a break. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new Pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum. A 9-yard receiving touchdown. Isaac Coy to Jack Welch. Tanner Beam knocks the PAT through. It's 35-0 Unioto.
Talk about depth. You know, we at halftime we were talking about all the people that have been able to run the football, get involved in the passing game. Seen some defensive athletes rotating in and out. Now we're seeing it even in their kicking game with Beam knocking through that extra point. Now he's going to kick a little bit here. Looks like the rest of Unioto kickoff team still pretty much the same.
Tanner Beam boots it away. And Cam Williams watches it roll into the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line to kick off the second half. Halftime update from McDermott. The Piketon Red Streaks leading Northwest 16-13 after the first couple of quarters.
You and John Bruce were both telling me that you felt like that would be a competitive football game here in week one. I know both of you had said there were some things about Northwest that you were optimistic about.
First down, Locklear hands it off. Poches just does get back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. Poches has had some success on the ground, but it's really been feast or famine so far tonight for the junior. It's either been a big run or a pickup of no yards or even a loss. 2nd and 10, Locklear hands it back off to Poches, and this time he's knocked down in the backfield. Unioto Shermans in on the tackle.
Yeah, Unioto just coming from all levels there, and just not a whole lot of choice in the option game, and the 3rd and long has been where Portsmouth has found its offense throughout tonight. And again, that's just on their playbook. If you think of your call sheet throughout the week and your game preparation, this is obviously a situation, and the field position with it. It's just not a recipe for success.
4 wide for the Trojans. Locklear dumps it off into the flats. Cam Williams looks like he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, but it'll be 4th and 10 coming up. So another 4th and long for Portsmouth. Trailing Unioto 35-0, 7.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Sherman sensing the punt from Portsmouth, send Beam and Zickelfoos back to midfield. Cam Williams out of the pistol, he'll boot it away. Fair catch signaled for Zickelfoos. It'll be marked down right at the 45-yard line. Another series set to begin in favorable field position for Unioto. We've talked about it all night long, Shane. The Unioto offense and defense just working in perfect harmony. It's been a lot of sustained defensive drives for Unioto that has allowed Unioto to start out on the plus side of midfield.
Yeah, tonight's formula has been kind of like my trip to my favorite buffet, right? It's special teams kicker, kick it in the end zone, force them to start back at the 20. Defense gets aggressive, 3 and out, force the punt. Zickelfoos has been solid in the return game. And Unioto spent, the whole 2nd quarter and now here in the 3rd quarter on the plus side of the field. And with this offense and the depth and talent, again, it just puts the defense in a real tough situation if you're Portsmouth.
1st and 10. Pre-snap penalty, false start against the Shermans. That'll bump them back to midfield. 1st and 15 coming up.
You were reading Wilson's stats from last year, and when you look at the year Braden had, it got lost a little bit with Wilson. Watching him run tonight, I got to believe he's going to be someone who's going to show up in some different games. For people that don't know, and maybe you can help me on this, Ty Woods, the senior running back, he was a big-time player. Got hurt early last year. Now he's back this year, and he's still hurt a little bit. So they've even got more help along the way in the run game.
Speaking of Wilson, he gets the 1st down carry. He's stopped in the backfield. Host of Trojans in on the stop, Leland Skurlock.
And again, maybe some of
Trevin Brooks.
Sorry, dudes. Maybe some of our Unioto listeners can help me. But yes, senior Ty Woods, I believe, is the young man that got hurt early last year. That's when Braden came back and then exploded on the scene. Wilson jumped in and run. So now you get all of them back, and you can see how, that's what Coach Hoops needed, was another athlete to put into the rotation.
4 wide for the Shermans. David Long tight to the left side. Coy looks to throw on 2nd down, airing it out to the near side, and it's incomplete. Outstanding defense from Dontavian Parker breaks it away from Braden Harsha.
Yeah, you're spot on there, dude. Parker competing hard there all the way, good coverage. Fights for the ball and knocks it loose. Pretty well thrown ball from Coy.
A lot of confidence in the junior signal caller. In his freshman wideouts, we've seen him target Braden Harsha a handful of times, had the touchdown completion earlier on in the night.
Yeah, watching him go catch the ball at the high point earlier, you can see why he's earned this quarterback's trust.
3 wide with the wing back. Wilson in the backfield alongside Coy, and this one is over the head of the quarterback. Wilson corrals it in the backfield. Wilson looks to take it to the far sideline, fighting for extra yardage, but he'll be brought down inside the 45-yard line, and a flag after the play. Lots of laundry down on the Unioto sideline. 3 flags came flying in at the conclusion of the play. Leland Skurlock is down back around the Unioto 35. We saw Skurlock a bit banged up after a kickoff earlier on in the evening.
I don't want to play doctor. That looks closer to a cramp, but again, I shouldn't be saying that from clear across the field. Earlier on the kickoff when he was down, I know he took a shot. And here, hopefully that's all it is.
So after the play, it's a personal foul against the Trojans. Turns what would have been about a loss of 7 or 8 yards into a first down for Unioto.
That's up around, unofficially of course, up around 8 penalties for up over 60 yards for Portsmouth on the night. On pace to give up almost a football field of penalties against an opponent at the level of Unioto. Just can't do it.
Little under 4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Same formation for Unioto. 1st and 10, Coy gives it off. This is Wilson. Out past the line of scrimmage, looks to be a pickup of about 4 yards.
With the running clock, Dewey will be happy to hear that our 42-minute first quarter, whatever that was, that record's safe here. I think this quarter is going to go a little quicker for you.
Certainly one of the longer ones we've had the last couple of years. 2nd and 7, Coy looking to throw, firing it to the near side, back to Harsha, and this time it's broken up. Once again, it's Dontavian Parker in coverage. We've seen the senior make a handful of plays defensively here tonight.
Yeah, outstanding. And that's a big deal. You might say, well, it's 35-0. What's it matter? What's it matter is you've got a young man competing really hard for you in the secondary, and that's something you can build on as you go into the film room and get ready for your week 2 opponent.
Third down, 7 yards to go. Handoff. This is David Long between the tackles, out past the 20-yard line and just shy of the line to gain. Another strong run from the senior David Long.
I like the different types of runners that Unioto can bring at you too. We've seen Beam speed to the edge. We've seen Braden kind of as a all-around back. Then we see Wilson and Long a little bit more physical inside. And then, of course, Coy keeping everybody honest where he's been able to pull it back and run it around 5 times up around 25, 30 yards tonight. Had the touchdown earlier.
Wilson motioning across the line of scrimmage, another pre-snap penalty. Looked like the junior Kason Myers hopping into the neutral zone. That'll push the Shermans up 5 and give them a new set of downs.
The running clock, I assume the offense probably playing their final possession here, and then Coach Hoops will probably go to some different guys as we get to the fourth quarter. A lot of times early in the year, Dewey, you want your guys to come out of the locker room and have to get right back at it and play a little bit. Again, regardless of the score, there's so many things you're trying to do to get better for the upcoming weeks.
Blake Braden now in at quarterback for the Shermans.
Unofficially, I think that puts him up over 100. Again, don't have the exact totals for you, but only on about 10 carries, right up around 100 yards there. Unofficially, I think at 103 is what I have him at.
Empty backfield, Braden firing to the near side, wide open in the end zone. It's caught, touchdown, Unioto, the second one tonight for the freshman, Braden Harsha.
Just a little out route there, good feet by Harsha over on the sidelines, well thrown. With about 7 yards on the pass and catch.
Tanner Beam on for the point after.
I think they're trying to almost work the clock down a little bit so that this can serve as the final play.
Beam knocks it through. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Unioto leads Portsmouth 42-0 at the conclusion of the third quarter. Fourth quarter at the Coliseum when we return here in Portsmouth. You're watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
But I didn't see it.
Okay, this is Blake Brady.
Back here in Portsmouth, it's 42-0. Unioto leading the Trojans. Looking ahead to next week, both teams on the road. Unioto at Vinton County, and for Portsmouth on the road, but not too far down it. Crosstown rival, the West Senators. Looking to week 3, Unioto takes on Waverly, and it's kind of an interesting dynamic when you look at that Waverly game, because I think a lot of people right now would probably pick Unioto, favor them in that game, but you got to remember, I mean, just looking back to last season, you had a Unioto team coming off of a loss to Amanda Clear Creek. A lot of people figured Waverly probably going to win that week 3 game, and Unioto came out on top. One of the stats I always go back to, because that's typically a game we do every year, the visiting team has won Waverly Unioto the last 6 seasons.
Wow. That's an interesting fact there.
Squib kick, middle of the field. This is Dontavian Parker to the near sideline. He's brought down around the 33.
Yeah, in prep this week, getting ready not only for Unioto Portsmouth tonight, but obviously the Waverly Miami Trace game tomorrow night. Watched a lot of film and tried to watch a lot of preseason football. I think Waverly has some Unioto characteristics in terms of depth and some different guys that can go. And talking to some of their coaching staff this week, I don't know if Waverly's quite at 100% on both sides of the ball, but it looks like they're going to get there within the next week or two. So that'll be interesting by week 3 to see if they've got everybody locked and loaded.
Also a brand new quarterback for the Tigers as well, and Gunnar Myers.
Yeah, been impressed with him in the preseason. His arm strength, making some of the different types of throws. Certainly has a couple unique athletes that he can throw it to.
Liam Livingston in at quarterback for the Trojans on the ground. This is Jamarcus Parker to the far sideline, extremely close to the line to gain, and he has the first down.
Been impressed with Jamarcus Parker on film here in the early going. He's got some preseason carries. Really good speed.
Listed at 5 foot 135, but very quick. A lot of explosiveness for the sophomore.
I just think so much of this Portsmouth team, they're going to be able to go back to film, and they're just going to try to clean up some of their formations and obviously their center quarterback exchange, and they're going to be just fine.
Livingston
forward.
under pressure. That was Javon Smith in the backfield, followed up by another defender as well, brought down in the backfield. Second and long coming up for Portsmouth. Looked like it was Alex Gutierrez in the backfield for Unioto. Second and 21, Livingston hands it off to Parker. Between the tackles up to the 37.
I believe Unioto defense, I don't have us in front of me, I don't think. I believe it's 4 shutouts a year ago, so 9 minutes away here. Just kind of the pride and the competitive juice. You'd like to keep that 0 up there if you're the defensive side. Yeah, 4 of them. They shut out Westfall, Adena, Paint Valley, and Southeastern a year ago.
3rd and 18, Livingston. Out of the pocket to the near side, firing downfield. It's brought in. Kason Myers out past midfield. Bring up 4th and 4 for Portsmouth.
As the clock running, you're already down to 8 minutes. So again, Dewey, how you feel about the running clock rule in high school football? I was up in the air on it at first, but I tell you, when I've seen it in use, I have to say I like it.
4th and 4, Livingston is brought down at midfield. Sherman's forced the turnover on downs. They'll take over at the 50-yard line. I think certainly when you look at the running clock, it definitely balances out a 40-minute first quarter, which, I think there's arguments for both sides of it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you have your run rule in baseball and softball, and then, it's just one of those where when games get to certain spots, I think there's so many different ways. Well, why is this kid still in the game? Why is this kid still playing? And again, you could really, we could sit and do an entire podcast show on it, but you come a time here where the game's kind of been decided, and you get to a point where you don't want to prolong it. I have to say, the more I see it in use, I think it's a pretty fair rule. I think teams that have the deep roster, the argument against it is, man, you'd like to get some kids in under the Friday night lights and so forth. And unfortunately, our numbers start to suffer, and we're not playing as full of JV schedule. We're not doing some of those things in the 7th and 8th grade. And that is where it's maybe hurting the development a little bit.
So the Trojans take their first time out of the second half. 1st and 10 for Unioto from midfield.
Piketon now leads Northwest 23-13. Gullion and Shanks seem to be having big nights there for the Red Streaks. As Dewey told you earlier, Derek Webb has those updates for you over on the X.
So we mentioned earlier on, more coverage coming your way the rest of this week. Miami, Trace, and Waverly tomorrow night, along with Jackson and Little Miami Saturday night. Some Saturday afternoon volleyball, Adena and South Webster earlier on, and Saturday afternoon. So Shermans go back to the ground. Henry Valet.
Henry, a sophomore, 5'8", 165. Physical-looking runner. Blake Braden, the freshman quarterback, now running the show.
Third down, 1 yard to go for the Sherman. Briggs Jackson between the tackles has some space, and inside the 35, a first down carry for Jackson.
Good-looking athlete there. He hit the hole hard with some explosiveness. And, you know, we talked about earlier having a different type of variety in your depth. You even see it here in this unit. I like Braden and the way he handles himself. You saw the physicality of Velade, and then that time Briggs Jackson, good-looking athlete.
1st and 10, back to the ground with Jackson. This time not as much room to work with. Andrew Cole in on the stop for the Trojans. Closing in on the 5-minute mark here in the second half. Empty backfield, Braden looking to throw far side. It's brought in. This is Carter Elliott. Elliott inside the 20 and brought down just shy of the 15. A flag down back around the plus 34.
You mentioned Elliott there on the catch. Lakin Langoff, another freshman out at wide receiver, getting some playing time. Do my best to try to look across the line there and try to get some names on the air. Some of these young guys getting some Thursday night varsity action. Nick Gibson-Mallory looks to be left side of the offensive line.
2nd and 15, Braden looking to throw over the middle, going back to Elliott, this time unable to connect. 3rd and long coming up for the Shermans.
Jonah Renner and Luke Stanton, freshman and sophomore respectfully up front.
Third down and 15. Unioto goes back to the ground with Briggs Jackson.
I think the horse collar there. They had him wrapped underneath, and when they reached up to get him, they pulled him down, and flag came out pretty quick.
Fresh set of downs for Unioto.
Portsmouth now with 9 penalties, coming up on about 80 yards.
Braden on first down, firing to the end zone, and it's nearly picked off. Gavin Stillwell in coverage for the Trojans. 2.5 minutes to go here in the 4th.
Good looking arm from the freshman Braden there. Just overthrows the seam just a little bit. And then there was an outside receiver in that corner. Looked to me like he was coming off a little bit. Just about made the play there. Stillwell.
Empty backfield for Braden on 2nd and 10. Braden Forced out of the pocket to the far side. He'll tuck it and run. Braden inside the 10-yard line and forced out of bounds at the 5. A first down run for the freshman quarterback.
Unioto really high in all their sports on this freshman class, so it's no surprise that you see a little bit of this depth coming in, and as the JV group gets some reps as well. But I know throughout all of their sports that this has been a group coming up through junior high that they've been pretty high on when they talk about potential.
First down, goal to go for Unioto from the 6. Braden will hand it off.
Still up.
Says Henry Vallette to the left hash, fighting up field, and he's brought down right at the 1.
Outstanding effort. Now we're under a minute with a continuous clock. Let's see what Unioto decides to do here. Gonna let the play clock go all the way down and take the delay game. Oh. Yeah, they were just letting that run out, and then now when they reset it, that'll do it for us, I think. So classy move by Coach Hoops not to score, just to add on to it.
So 42-0, that'll be the final here on this first Thursday of the 2025 season. A dominant Week 1 win for Unioto over Portsmouth. Both teams set to be on the road next week. The Shermans headed down to Vinton County to take on what was typically their Week 1 matchup in the Vinton County Vikings. The Trojans will head down the road to the Rock to take on the West Senators. 42-0 the final here at the Coliseum. One more time, 42-0 the final. Here in Portsmouth, we'll take a break. You've been watching Ohio High School football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. Your life just took a dark turn. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to wish all the fall sports athletes a very safe and successful year. Good luck.
Are you looking for the best deals on quality used trucks and cars?
Great news. Chillicothe Truck has what you're looking for.
Choose from a wide selection of makes and models. All vehicles undergo a detailed multi-point inspection and extensive reconditioning before hitting the lot. Our friendly team offers a no-pressure sales experience, ensuring you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Plus, you can customize your ride with our extensive range of truck accessories, from bed covers to lift kits. Stop by 173 Rennick Avenue in Chillicothe or call us today at 740-773-8782 to get started right now.
Kimberly. Tons of practice. One chop away from a black belt. 7 of the best sidekicks. And 5 years since her cancer diagnosis at Ohio Health.
At North Fork Animal Clinic, we're more than your pet's health care. We're your neighbors. We combine top-quality veterinary care with the availability you can count on, keeping tails wagging and pets thriving. And as proud supporters of youth sports in Southern Ohio, we're committed to helping our whole community grow strong. North Fork Animal Clinic, caring for pets, supporting our community.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Pregame Financial is a comprehensive financial services firm committed to helping our clients improve their long-term financial success. Our customized programs seek to grow, protect, and conserve our clients' wealth by delivering personalized service and expertise. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member, FINRA SIPC. Please call us at 740-775-1040 to schedule a consultation.
At Chillicothe Comfort Heating and Air, your comfort is our priority year-round.
Whether it's blazing hot or freezing cold, we've got your back with fast, reliable service you can trust.
Locally owned, honest, and done right the first time.
We have financing options available for every budget as well as 60 months 0% interest.
Call us today and feel the difference that comfort makes.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie & Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Hey, Mike Glockner here from the Glockner family of dealerships. Want to talk to you about our express service that we offer at every Glockner location. Did you know that you don't need an appointment if you need a routine service done to your vehicle? All you have to do is show up. No appointment necessary. Stop by and let us serve you at any Glockner location today.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Experience the hometown Chevrolet difference. Check out our huge selection of Silverado trucks, Equinox SUVs, and the latest Chevy models. Priced to move and ready to hit the road today. Plus, with the Hometown Advantage, you get free oil changes for life and a 10-year, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty at no extra cost. That's real value and real peace of mind. Your Hometown Chevrolet is proud to be your trusted local dealer of new and pre-owned inventory, delivering unbeatable deals and top-notch service. Visit us today at 501 West Emmett Avenue in Waverly or start shopping online at yourhometowncchevy.com.
We welcome you back to the Trojan Coliseum here in Portsmouth. Dominant Week 1 showing for Unioto, a 42-0 win over the Portsmouth Trojans, headed into their Week 2 matchup next week with Vinton County. For the Trojans, they'll be down the road against the Senators at the Rock, Portsmouth West.
Yeah, I had a chance to see a Portsmouth West team last year, a physical football team, good football team. I think that'll be a tough test. And, tonight, I don't know if we dive into it. I think the story has to be, both teams slow start, a little sluggish early on, some penalty yardage. I know Portsmouth was pushing double-digit penalties up around 80 yards. Unioto had about 7, probably around 50. Now, in fairness to Unioto, most of those came in the first quarter, and then they really cleaned it up. But then once they got going, I felt like it was the depth of athletes for Unioto. Braden gets up over 100 yards, a couple touchdowns. You have Harsha Welch and Zikafus all catching touchdowns. Coy obviously doing it through the air. He also scored one on the ground. And then I don't want to leave out special teams. I thought Matthew and then even Tanner Beam into the second half, the ability to kick it in the end zone, push Portsmouth back in field position, the defense doing its part. And Unioto, as we said on the coverage tonight, had 4 shutouts a year ago. Start the year tonight with 1, and I think overall Coach Hoops will have enough on film to pick at a little bit from the first quarter. But I think in the overall opening night performance, I would guess he's pretty pleased with his team's effort.
Certainly a dominant showing, both offensively and defensively. Special teams, big thing as well, is something that we talked about off air as well as on air when you add in that kicking element to the game. Now, we didn't see the punting as much for Unioto, but it's still an aspect of the game that is certainly strong. But the kicking game is something that every program can't claim they have.
Well, it is, and you look tonight a couple times, where when you are pushed back in your own territory, if you have the ability with the punting game as well to maybe flip the field a little bit or to push an extra 10, 15 yards of field position, those are all factors. So watch that throughout the I would encourage fans to pay attention to that throughout the year. On all the kicking game is the snapping, the holding, the long snap on the punt, is the punter and the kicker, what kind of quality are they bringing to their team, because it really, really impacts a game. And then when you do have it, because it's not normal in high school, it really becomes quite a weapon and quite an advantage.
It also comes down to a lot of the little things that some would view as insignificant, handling the ball on handoff, snapping the football out of the shotgun. It's some of those things, penalties, lining up in the neutral zone, a lot of stuff that we saw here tonight for both teams.
Well, it's interesting. When you watch a lot of preseason football, they don't go live there. So, like, when you are snapping and you are catching and you are holding and you are kicking, a lot of times it's just they're giving you a rep. But, now you get out here tonight and you're going at game speed and everything happens a little quicker. So, you mentioned it in the early going. Portsmouth has a lot of new people in different positions. I think they're going to be fine. Look, I think Unioto is really good. I thought coming into the year they'd be one of the better teams in the entire Sosa area. If I'm Portsmouth, I go to the film and I try to stay real positive in terms of, hey, let's fix the things that we did to ourselves, regardless of who we're playing. Let's see if we can clean those things up. And if they can, I felt like both of us agreed that they have 3 or 4 skilled kids that have a chance to have a really nice year in terms of making some plays.
And Shane, you can speak to this as well as a broadcaster who got to see West play last season. It's certainly going to be a change of pace for Portsmouth next week. You go from a Unioto team that 50-50 pass run, but they definitely air it out sometimes more than they may go to the ground, to a Portsmouth West team that you'd be surprised to see them air it out more than 2 or 3 times a game. They rely heavily, and they're proud of it, what they can do on the ground.
Extremely physical, really good in the trenches, and they have a couple different types of backs that can really come at you. You're right. You're going to have to be ready to compete up front. But honestly, I thought the front, there's 2-3 guys up front there for Portsmouth I thought did a real nice job today in the middle. So I think that's a matchup that, Portsmouth can respond to a little bit and see. And then on the other side of it, can they clean up some of those unforced errors to where they can get a little bit of the speed to the perimeter? I'd still like to see Portsmouth here 3-4 weeks down the road, because I think what you're going to see is they clean up some different things and they get comfortable with who they are. I think you're going to see 2 or 3 of these athletes explode for some big plays.
All righty, well, that will wrap up our coverage tonight of Southern Ohio high school football here at the Trojan Coliseum. One more time, the Shermans come out on top over Portsmouth, 42-0. Along with Shane Combs, my name is Dewey Daly, signing off from here in Portsmouth. You've been watching Ohio high school football on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.